Maybe you are getting ready to run your first marathon, or you just want to pace a better marathon. Pacing a good marathon can be tricky, but if you run it strategically, you can have your best marathon. The best way to pace your best marathon is to run negative splits. So here is how you should run your marathon from start to finish. Let's discuss the start of the race. So you should get in the right race corral based upon your expected finish time. Many times, bigger marathons will have what race corral that you need to be on based upon your expected finish time. So usually you have corral A, corral B, corral C, and corral D most of the time. So the way that is determined what corral that you should be in is based upon your last finish time. If it is your first marathon, chances are that they will probably put you in the last corral. So smaller marathons might let you start anywhere at the start line. If it's your first marathon and you think that you might be a faster runner, you might not want to go to a bigger race that would put you in the last corral. You might want to stick with running a smaller marathon that's not going to put you in a race corral. The reason that you want to start in the correct race corral is that you do not want to be weaving in and out of people and passing them at the beginning of the race. It takes a lot of energy, and you are not using your energy efficiently if you are passing people. So let's talk about miles 1 to 5. First of all, those first 5 miles, you want to stay as relaxed as you can while you are running. So this is the time that you want to run 10 to 15 seconds slower than your marathon goal pace. Let's talk about miles 6 to 10. This is the time that you want to slowly pick up your pace to gradually get up to marathon race pace. It is okay to be a little slower than marathon goal race pace during these miles. You should be thinking about taking sips of water and energy gels at this point in the race. It allows you to conserve fuel and energy that you will need in your last 10K. If you are running these miles slightly slower than goal marathon race pace, it gives your body a better chance to absorb and take energy gels and fluids. So it's important to remember, if you run faster, you are burning more fuel. So just think about driving a vehicle. If you are going faster or going above the speed limit, you are burning more fuel and your car is not being as energy efficient. The same rule applies to a runner during a marathon. It is important to remember that your body can store up to 2 hours worth of energy at goal marathon race pace. So let's talk about miles 11 to 15 during the marathon. You are now at the halfway point. This is a good time to evaluate how you are feeling. You will probably feel tired, but your pace should feel sustainable. If it doesn't feel doable at this point, slow down for a couple minutes to see if that helps when you try to speed up again. So after those couple minutes are up, pick up your pace slightly to see if you can sustain that pace. If it doesn't seem like you can maintain that pace, you need to reevaluate your marathon goal at this point. If you feel good, try to pick up your pace slightly. That your average splits are getting closer to marathon goal race pace. Let's talk about miles 16 to 20. So now you are getting close to the last part of the marathon. Just know that things will probably start to feel tough at this point, but you can do it. If you are struggling with your pace at this point, you could try to stick with another runner or a pack of runners that are going at the pace that you want to go. Your split should be getting very close to race pace if they aren't already. If they aren't at goal race pace right now, there's really no need to worry. You still have plenty of miles to gradually pick up your pace to goal race pace. It's still important to remember to keep taking in carbs such as energy gels and sipping water. Now let's talk about miles 21 through 26. So this is where the race really begins. There is no holding back at this point, and you should be trying your best. There's no need to focus on your pace or splits at this point. You just need to run. This point in the race is tough, but you are in the home stretch, and you need to remember that in the back of your mind. This is where mental tricks and mantras can be very useful, and you should not accept any negative thoughts in your mind You have to replace it with a positive thought. If you want some mental tricks to help you during your training or during a marathon, make sure you check out the video linked above, and it will also be in the description below. It's 6 mental tricks to help you get through your long run. Besides having mental tricks as part of your strategy during the last part of your race, you need to be checking your form. Make sure you're breathing correctly, belly breathing, not shallow breathing. Take long, nice, deep breaths. Make sure you're standing up straight. It's natural when you are tired to slump over. I have problems with that. I have to keep telling myself, stay straight, have good posture, because you're going to run a lot better and you're going to be able to breathe better if your posture is good. You have to be thinking those things and just make sure you are maintaining good form. Keep your eyes forward, look straight ahead. Make sure your arms are moving, swinging like a pendulum back and forth, not crossing your body. That's going to help you get through those last miles because you're going to have to remind yourself about your form at this point. If you find your pace is dipping, you could speed up a little bit, just do a little surge to help try to regain that energy. So that could actually possibly help you get back on track with your pace if you do a little bit of speeding up during the run when you're getting tired. Another thing that you can do is look at the runners in front of you. Imagine that you have a rope around your waist and the runner in front of you has a rope around their waist and there is a rope between you and it is pulling you towards that runner. So that can help you keep your speed and keep your pace so that you feel like you're possibly catching the runner in front of you. And you want to imagine that that runner in front of you is pulling you towards them. So that helps you keep on pace. You should also take in one last energy gel at this point and be sipping water so that you can increase your glycogen stores. You have to remember that your body still needs energy at the end of the race. Let's talk about the last 0.2 miles of the marathon. So you are so close, and at this point of the race, your adrenaline is really going to be kicking in. You might actually find that your pain goes away and you have the ability to kick it in. So at this point, if you are wearing headphones, I would take them out because you want to hear the crowd support and you want to be able to hear the announcer announcing your name crossing the finish line, because this is going to be such a memorable moment for you, especially if it is your first marathon. Negative splits is the best way to pace a marathon, but it does take practice. And it is important to practice doing negative splits during your long runs. Do you struggle with maintaining negative splits during a race? Please comment below. I would love to hear your experience to see if this is a challenge for you, because it is a challenge for a lot of runners. Make sure you check out the next video about 5 tips to help you avoid hitting the wall during a marathon.